Hello and welcome to this episode of There Be Dragons. I'm Matthew, your Dungeon Master. Let's go around the table, introduce the players and the characters they play.
To my right is...
Angela, and I play Abella.
I'm Keren. I play your friendly neighbourhood dragonborn Rhylind Westfall.
I'm Josh Walker, and I play Skairn Fellspar.
He's just jealous because I have a tagline and he doesn't.
My tagline is my name.
I'm Tristan. I play Charles Roughhouse, second of his name.
And I am Tom Moore, playing Nezor Valghoorlis, the little bard dude who has some fun.
Yes, Little Bard Dude is in fact a race. All right, well, let's start this episode with a little bit of a story. Gaspard Gautreau is the name of a young elven man who, upon waking this morning, took his father's service flintlock from a hiding place under a floorboard in his house. He cleaned and then loaded it, and has spent the entire day wandering the streets, waiting for an officer of the occupying army to be within shooting distance. He had a chance earlier today, but he missed it due to the thick crowd. But just when his patience wore thin, he spotted the man we now know as Castellan and his strange entourage. Making his way through the crowd, he grasps the pistol concealed within his cloak. His knuckles are white, bloodless with the strain. His forehead beads with sweat. And as he closes with the man, he draws the pistol, levels it at him, and declares, "We shall not be ruled," and fires.
And starts World War I!
Well, that's basically what happened.
No, we already started World War I.
I'm pretty sure we're past World War I at this point.
So, given that the three most able/closest people to this incident are yourself, Skairn, Abella, and Rhylind, and Abella is currently distracted looking at the roof, of all things.
You both see this pistol come up. I'm going to allow you guys to both make a single action. You guys can tell me if you'd like to do something, and if it requires die rolls, we'll resolve those, and then we will roll initiative.
Well, I think instinct would take over in this case, and I would try and grab the gun from him and point it at the ground.
Okay.
You know,
Sure.
If you happen to accidentally die right now, it'd make my life a lot easier. So it's more, I don't want anyone to get shot right now, including myself.
Sure. Okay, we'll treat this as a grapple, so roll me an opposed strength athletics check.
12 plus 7, so that gives me 19.
Yeah, that'll do it. How would you like to fluff that? Like, what do you actually do?
He shouts, "We shall not be ruled." I see a gun pointed, not exactly at me, but in my vicinity. So without even thinking, I just grab it and force it down.
Simultaneously, I'm going with this guy because he has information on my sister, and that's really my guiding motivation at this point. So I don't want that information to get shot.
Fair enough.
But I ain't going to step in front of the bullets, so what I'm going to do is basically shove him out of the way.
Yeah, right.
Let's make this a shove attack, so strength athletics.
8.
So he rolls a 1.
That beats. Okay, cool. So simultaneously, this pistol comes up, fires, but as it fires, a Dragonborn happens, and this pistol is now pointed, away towards the floor?
Towards the ground.
Yeah, towards the ground. This bullet ricochets off the pavement and disappears.
I thought you were going to say, it gets pointed down at the ground, and I have just pushed him onto the ground. He gets shot. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You know what? I'm actually going to... I really like the idea of you pushing him over and then the bullet just like an inch to the right, just bouncing off
Oh
at
my
him.
God,
Going,
if it got him, cue another 3 months of everyone be like, fuck's sake, Skairn! Oh my
How is this my fault?
yeah.
This guy's not even old.
Everyone roll initiative.
Oh, good.
Oh, wonderful.
Charlie, remember that you're rolling at disadvantage. The exhaustion levels still apply. They will be removed once you sober up. I'm not going to treat them as actual exhaustion. It's just a good way to replicate drunkenness.
Yeah,
So temporary exhaustion levels.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I'm happy to take the negative effects. I just don't want to literally be useless for 48 hours.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Like, worst, you'll wake up with a headache.
So that's
If he doesn't, I'm going to be very upset.
and that's
We'll see how his con checks go.
17. So
All right, so what did we roll?
17 for me.
15.
13.
4.
17.
You and Charlie both have the same dex mod. Just roll again. Whoever gets the higher dice roll goes first.
It's just to determine
With
who goes
disadvantage again?
No, just straight dice.
Yeah, 17 with
Just the dice?
I just rolled a 1.
Dice to just. Oh.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I got a 6.
Okay, so that's all right. Abella goes first. So this all happens at once. The elf with the pistol and Castellan being thrown to the floor and this crowd. Half of them just run. There is about 10 other civilians left. They get into an altercation with the guards. The guards are basically lifting their muskets and using them sort of like a barrier to keep them away. They sort of meet each other halfway. The guards are basically doing what guards do in this situation, beating the heck out of anyone who comes near them and threatens them. Abella, you see that the figure on the roof has repositioned slightly, and it is now your turn.
Repositioned how? Like, are they drawing a bow or
They've-
anything? Or.
So they were prone, and now they're getting up to their knees.
Okay. I'm going to say, oh, the humanity! Stumble into this guy, and then just be like, all right, you've caused enough trouble, fucking go home. And I'm going to take his pistol off him.
Okay, if you want to disarm him and take his gun, I will get you to do a special attack roll and opposed strength athletics check for me.
10.
Okay,
We are not rolling well today,
No.
any of us.
you grab the pistol, which is hot to the touch, and I feel like that's probably what contributes to the fact that he's able to rally and sort of pull the pistol back. But because you've got a grip on it and you're holding that grip, it then turns into a pulling match between two ends of the pistol, and in the meantime, there's just this pandemonium around you. Next in the order is Charlie. Good God.
The Queen!
There was a gunfire, which Charlie hears, I assume.
Oh yeah, it went bang.
Okay.
In the
So
distance,
essentially, what I'm gonna do, you know how in like video games, when all the scripting for movement and stuff don't work, and so the characters spawn in like a T shape. Just like
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that in front of Nezor and just like
protecting.
try and protect Nezor, but just like and like look around to see where the gunfire went, and that's about it.
Yeah, cool.
That's about all Charlie's got cognitive abilities for.
Right.
Look out, small one!
I shall protect ye. Rhylind, what are you up to?
Well, I've just pushed the guy's gun to the ground and it's gone off. Abella has wrestled him.
Yeah. They're now having this tugging match.
It's more of a tug of war over a gun.
Yeah.
Also, neither of us are super strong
It's
in
like
terms
both of them
like,
are trying to just jack the gun off.
Okay. Well, is anyone else?
It's a Dutch rudder.
No. Well, you know that's the episode title now, right?
Is anything an immediate threat to me right now?
The crowd, if they get through the protective circle of the guards, and you know what? I'll let you do a perception check if you'd like.
Yeah. Basically, I want to assess.
Yeah.
To my person.
Oh,
rolled
that's
an
good.
8.
That's fine. They failed. They're
Plus something.
They rolled a 1, so you, not only you, but this round, everyone else will know that they're here. You, having a military background, have that soldier sense where you just know someone's creeping up behind you, and immediately your attention is drawn to this figure that has just appeared on this roof, who is brandishing a crossbow. And it is wearing a white porcelain mask with a bit of like golden, I guess you would consider it to be like some kind of filigree, and a, calling it a hood would be generous. It's more like a shawl, like a ratty shawl.
Are they pointing the crossbow at anybody?
They are aiming at one of the guards.
Because this depends on how I feel about this. Am I going to try and escape, or do we want to try and...
You could spirit away.
I am neither for nor against.
Because the thing is, like, we could try and get away in the confusion, but then we're still in Rattou.
Yeah, but we got dragged in. Like, yeah, we were forcibly taken, essentially. Like, hey, come have.
But also,
dinner with
mob
me.
justice does not hear nuances.
But yeah, so it's sort of like I'm happy
I'm
to
not worried
just
about the
leave.
mob. I'm super not worried about 10 civilians.
I'm not physically capable of. I'm on just basically. I get negatives to
I'm
everything.
still, even if it was just the 4 of us, I am not worried about 10 civilians. Maybe the shiny assassin might be a problem.
Well, we don't know they're an assassin.
They look pretty.
They look pretty assassiny. Shroud and mask. And
Here's the thing:
crossbow
we've all seen this.
No.
So here's my question: like, I know combat's a little bit interesting, and this is Tom talking here. The second Abella sees this, she's gonna do something.
I've seen it.
She already saw it.
And then there was a shot, and there was a gun firing near me, and that's why I want to get it, because I'm like, you might shoot me.
I mean the porcelain mask.
So to give you an idea, you saw this figure rise to their knees, and now you're currently preoccupied with this little oik. He's also very young.
How young? You said elf.
Yeah, but like Abella would
Super
kind
young?
of know,
Like an elf young?
like equivalent of a 13-year-old.
Okay. So looks young even for a human.
Idealistically revolutionary, like.
Because elves, like, 70 is still a child.
Yeah,
70 is like 18.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
70s new 18.
yeah.
Well, I think I will draw my bow and try to disable but not kill the person on the rooftop.
Yeah, cool.
Because I don't want anyone shooting in my general direction right now. So yes, I will draw my bow and try to shoot, like maybe in like the arm or something. 15.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, groovy. So 1d8 plus 2. So 1d8.
So what's the intent here? You're trying to basically disable them?
Yes, so I'll be aiming for their front arm. They can't shoot with a bad arm, so
Nice.
7 plus 2, so 9 damage. So yeah, I'm aiming for I'm aiming for the arm that's in front of his body.
Yep, absolutely. It hits, and you hear a high-pitched shriek.
Can I try and grab the gun off the two of them?
Well, you still haven't used your second attack, so you can absolutely use it to make a special attack and grapple the gun off them. Roll an opposed strength athletics check. We'll do 2 rolls.
So that would be 19
Yep.
and 17, 18, 11. 19 and 11.
Okay, yeah, you managed to get it free from the elf's mitts. Angela, please roll me a strength check to see whether or not...
I come with it.
Yeah.
I got me an elf!
Oh, sorry, that should be strength athletics.
17.
11.
So now there is a... Unless you're going to let go of Bella,
Now you two are fighting over the gun.
Yeah. Nezor, your turn.
How far away is the person who's just been shot by Rhylind?
This figure is 2 stories up and 40 feet away from you at an angle.
And are they still holding the crossbow?
Yes, but only in the most technical sense. You're quite confident the bolt went through their arm and into the crossbow.
Not
Yeah.
a problem. What I'm going to do is point my finger at Castellan.
Yeah, who's on the ground?
He's on the ground, but he's not injured or anything, so I can actually communicate with him and just be like, how do we get out of here? What do you think?
Okay.
This does last for 1 round, and it costs me. It's an action to
Sure.
cast it.
He looks at you and goes, into the alleyway.
Does he have a particular alleyway
In mind? No, he's just like, if we want to be safe, we need to not be on this main street.
Okay, so I will guide drunk Charlie towards. Is there an alleyway past him, kind of straight from us? So I will guide drunk Charlie towards Castellan with the intent of then getting to the alleyway.
Yep.
Depending on how much distance that is and how much Charlie can move at the moment, depends on how long this is going to take.
You can start moving him, and he can start moving next round. Because he's basically just standing in front of you at this point.
Yeah, so that's my thing, is I need to convince Charlie of this. It's not going to happen right away. Charlie, boss man thinks we need to get out of here.
He's not the boss!
He is in this town, right here, right now. He reckons alleyway is safest for all of us. Charlie is now my tower shield.
That's a t-shirt. To my mind, it's like a Jesus take the wheel. Charlie is my tower shield. Nezor, is that your turn?
Yeah, I think my action is taken up with casting a spell and then using the knowledge from that spell to get towards where I want to go.
However, what happens next is one of the guards gets a crossbow bolt in the neck and drops.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
As the second would-be assassin rises from the other side of the street.
Oh, good.
The one who has been shot by the Dragonborn is, however, preoccupied
With the whole arrow
with
through her
shrieking
forearm.
and trying to remove the arrow from their arm.
My hands! They're crossbows!
The other guards don't notice their compatriot go down, but 2 of the 10 angry villagers being with the butt of a musket being subdued. Some of them have started to turn and run as well. The line is breaking. It's basically like a panic response.
Okay.
Castellan stands up, barks orders at his men to keep the crowd at bay.
And it is now Scan's turn.
I see what I see where Nezor is going.
Because I'm definitely having
Charlie.
to gesture,
And he,
like this is not
he did
words
talk to
get
Charlie,
through
so
to
I
Charlie.
heard him. And I see them. I basically grab Castellan by the scruff of the neck and pick him up, while with my other hand, with my left arm, which is my dragon shoulder, I point at the first assassin with the Edwina crossbow hands and say, "Rush!" Rush looks at me sort of.
There is a steely determination from him, and also slightly hungry.
And takes runs off my shoulder, down my arm, and launches himself from my fingertips. And flies straight like an arrow at this masked woman, and swoops her and goes for the neck with his barbed tail.
Cool, roll me attack.
I want a baby dragon.
Fucking yeah.
That doesn't fix problems.
I think it would fix it.
I think he was making a pregnancy joke.
Oh, right.
One thing is adopt, don't shop.
The baby dragon is not just for Christmas, Keren.
A baby dragon is for life.
And I'm okay with that.
It's life. When you
So
get
I believe I
bored
have
with
to do
it,
a
just kill it.
Constitution
Done.
save.
Yeah, it's sorry. I hit her with a 22.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
And a DC 11 con.
All right. So I have to roll over 11,
Yeah.
and they rolled an A20. So
Okay. You don't get poisoned.
No, the stinger must have got caught in the shawl.
You still take damage though.
Yeah, okay.
But I do.
So Edwina's like, my arm, dragon.
You take 6 damage from being poisoned in the neck.
They shriek and then
The
sluggishly.
goal is to subdue.
Yeah, they sluggishly pull away. They do not look particularly well off.
Crush, grab, and he and I are going to the alley.
Okay, cool. All right, back to the top of the order. Abella, what are you doing?
Am I still like hanging from the gun?
I like that imagery, so yes.
Okay, good. Where is this guy? Gaston, even though I don't know his name.
Gaspard. You don't know his name.
I'm not ever going to remember that.
No,
it's
that's
gonna
fine.
Be
Don't
Gaston
worry about it.
from
No
now
worries.
on.
Gaspar.
Yeah, he is currently being musketed in the head.
I think we may be focusing on the Gaston a little bit too much.
Yeah,
I
I'm
actually
like,
don't think he's very important.
All right. We got the gun. That was the main thing. So I'm going to let go of the gun. Yeah, I'm going to do a roll.
Yeah.
You know how
Superhero landing.
hardcore people probably don't need to do one, but at this point I'm
You
like,
drop
eh.
less than a foot.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm going to do I'm going to do one of those parkour things where they land and then they kind of dive forward and do a roll.
Put your feet up on the gun and then kick and do a flip in the air and land. all
Break the
cool
game
like.
physics.
I'm probably not going to do that.
Break Rylind's arm.
These physics are now
Causes to
anime
drop the
physics.
Okay, so what's the aim here? What are you doing other than looking cool?
To be cool.
Just looking cool.
Gonna see that I've probably heard something about an alleyway and I'm like, well, that sounds like a good escape because I want to be out of here. So I'm gonna roll towards them.
There are arrows and
You
guns.
don't need to roll an acrobatics check. I'm just going to say you're able to do that because
Okay.
that just seems
What
pointless.
about if you rolled it and then determined how good a roll?
Oh yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's see how successful were you.
Does she stagger and fall on her
But
face?
be aware, if you roll a 1, there will be repercussions.
Out of 1 is succeed and everyone goes, seen it before. To 10, 20,
Nothing
which
special.
Is like, holy moly, you invented a new gravity.
Yeah. My goal here is to be so excellent that the fighting stops.
Roll it. Do it.
20, come
They all
on.
stop and they go, wow, we've really learned something today. And they all shake hands and go home.
We should all okay, nat 20 this. Or nat 1 it where the fighting gets more vicious.
It just makes me so angry to see someone fucking
There's an elf who can't even cartwheel. Fuck!
All right, let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, that's... wait. Actually, that's not bad. 20, not natural.
Describe what happens with gusto.
Okay.
No one.
Should have picked a different name.
You didn't even name him.
So I'm holding on to the gun,
Uh-huh.
and I let loose like a... Ha! It's very dramatic.
That's it.
And I fall, but you
Half
don't
a
have
foot?
like... you know how in anime the women always fall, like one leg is like very delicately like slightly bent and they're like, and then I'm going to land and propel myself forward like, wah! Like,
Oh, like right towards the camera?
Dows are falling. You're mistaken. And I essentially do like falling, kind of chin starts up, hair's like dramatically trailing behind me, and then tucks under and like, bam, I do a roll and I'm on my feet again.
Okay.
And it's like,
And are you running?
that. Well, now I probably pause for a second and flick my hair, and then I run.
Okay.
Roll to trip Abella.
Don't be cruel. But speaking of being cruel, Charlie, it is your turn.
So you've got Castellan. Rhylind, have you noticed we're moving?
Well, I just rolled.
I'm not sure because I just shot the assassin on the rooftop.
Yeah.
I've just been left and Abella's just kind of launched herself off the gun I've been holding in the air.
Very attractively.
Yeah, so I'm going to, as usual, pick up Nezor. So I've got Nezor under one arm, I have Duchess under the other. I go, quickly now, Lady Rhylind, we must go! And then I continue to do my high step like I have been, but at 50 feet in 6 seconds. Very good.
That's the best mental image. Yeah. And I'm just like,
If there's fucking dust coming off the pavers, no. That's.
Skairn looks at Rhylind and goes, I don't understand how he can't see that as running away.
Nezor and Duchess are both very confused, but kind of used to this by
I'm
this
not
point.
confused. I'm just like, yes, Charlie, this is
so used
exactly
to
what I
this by
wanted.
Duchess is just looking a bit more smoother than usual.
This is how you
The
get
jowls are
groomed.
flapping around.
By all tellings, seems to be enjoying herself.
I could do it. I could just run, because they did tell me to just go down the alley.
Get down
so
the alley.
I could,
Very few alleys are more than 50 feet long.
because I can move 100 feet in 6
Yeah,
seconds.
Goes through a wall, leaving a Charlie, Duchess, and Nezor-shaped hole.
Charlie is many things. Able to go through walls is
maybe one of them.
maybe one of them.
Quite
Yeah,
possibly
actually, now I
one
think
of
of it, maybe. No, it's about 40 foot.
I'll move in behind the building.
Yeah.
Like,
You're all effectively crowding around the entrance to this thing. You're about to go into it, so it's fine.
oh, I'm a bit further in, like, because I've got.
So you just blow past Skairn and Castellan.
like high knee stepping,
Yeah.
like
Oh, I
was
figured I was behind him anyway,
Yeah.
because he sort of dragged him a bit anyway.
Yeah. All right. That's your action.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rhylind, back to you. So you see Charlie and Skairn and Castellan and Abella all beelining it for this alleyway.
Can I just have a quick look around and see what's happening in my immediate vicinity?
Sure. So the figure with the crossbow that you shot seems to be retreating further behind the eave of the building, and the one that shot from the opposite side of the street appears to be reloading.
If I was to try and get to the assassin that I've injured, what would be the most expeditious way to do that?
The fastest way to do it would be to scale the building, or potentially go inside the building and see if it has a rooftop access. Other than that, I guess you could follow them through the alleyway and maybe try and keep them in eye contact. What's the goal here? Just to take them out, or?
I kind of want to know what the assassins are up to. I'm deadly curious.
At this point, they just seem to be killing soldiers.
Well, I think I'm going to try and get to the top of the building where the injured assassin is.
Yep.
See if I can find out what's going on, because I might be able to use that to my advantage to, get out of this situation. So I'll shoulder barge the door down and look for a staircase.
Just do me a quick strength check.
8 + 4.
Yeah, you're fine. I think this thing just fucking blows off the hinges. It was probably recently replaced.
An elderly couple sitting in there like, not again.
Yeah.
You're
No, well,
encouraging the local economy.
Yeah, this looks like it was some kind of florist. And yeah, there is a staircase leading directly up opposite the door. You charge up the stairs, and it's one of those ones that winds back up on itself. You're pretty confident this place will lead to a roof, because at the end of this staircase, you're not going to get to the end of it, but at the end of it, there's like a landing and then a door. And you're pretty certain the door leads to, like, if not the roof, possibly like a balcony or something.
Yeah.
There would have been like a very small one at the very front of the building.
This is great. I'm pleased at my progress.
Okay. Nezor,
Can Rhylind still hear me?
as in,
If
can
I
you,
were to, no, that's a separate thing. I can definitely whisper to her. That's not a
using your magic?
Yeah, that's magic. I can point through walls. I know she's there. Like, how far away is Rhylind from? me?
She is,
Probably about 40 foot away from you through 2 walls.
if I were to yell and play very loudly, she would still physically be able to hear me.
Yes.
Cool.
I would be willing to say that.
Yep, easy. I am
Gonna
giving
have to
Rhylind-
hit those threats, though.
Oh, absolutely. I am giving Rhylind Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, man. And can I use it multiple times?
No,
just the
it's
once.
just the once, and you can only have one at a time, so unfortunately I cannot just load you up.
Shame.
You can't get
But
loaded,
that
unfortunately.
is a bonus action for this turn.
Great.
So I can still do other things.
Yep.
So at the moment we know of the one assassin who's been shot, and we know of another one who's taken a shot. Can I
And
perception?
there is also the young would-be assassin who is currently saying hello to the
I don't give a
pavement.
shit about him. Can I just do a quick perception check to kind of see what can see us?
Sure, you probably don't need to roll, but if you want,
That's a natty 20.
yeah, okay, so this, there are no windows. It is a 2-story tall
Yep.
gap. It's a very sharp angle, so if someone were to try and shoot you from here, they would have to expose themselves. So
Yep.
you can absolutely grab that from a second. There are some broken roof tiles, actually, in the gutter on either side, and the actual road here is bowed slightly, so there's sort of, it's not so much there are gutters, but it has a depression on either side of the passageway.
Shit flows away from the middle.
Cool.
Yeah, basically.
So at the
Moss and
moment,
lichen,
I'm
that sort
kind
of
of
stuff.
getting Nezor's kind of getting the people trying to disrupt the people who've taken over kind of feel, rather than assassins trying to assassinate someone important kind of feel.
If you'd like to try and work that out, you can roll me an insight.
Yeah, so let's do an insight. That is... wisdom. Yeah, cool. 13.
Why would you have an assassin in the street if you had the perfect position to not have that person be in danger?
So in that case, I'm going to basically be on the lookout for anyone who is going to be firing in our direction now that we've got the important person with us, and have a spell kind of ready to go, which, for your reference, has range of 60 feet. Basically, if someone takes a shot at us, I am shooting magic at their head.
Okay, so you're readying an action to cast a spell on anyone who attacks you.
So, Hrosh sees the assassin that he was attempting to knock out sluggishly try to run away from Hrosh. And this pleases Hrosh. However, they are very, very bad at staying upright on a tiled roof.
She is, however, going to disengage and attempt to escape over the tile rooftop, so I'll get her to do a dex save to make sure she doesn't fall. And, okay, that's a 1.
Oh boy. Okay. So in the alleyway ahead of you all, the would-be assassin slips down the side and lands about 10 foot in front of you.
Damn it, is this the one I'm chasing?
This is yeah.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, I rolled a 1. Like, there's no coming back from
Dude
that.
deserves it.
Good.
They wish they were, though.
Cool. Can we hear them making noise?
No, they're in front of us.
Yeah. Like, they landed in front of you.
Yeah, no, that like in our alleyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we hear? Basically, I'm asking: are they unconscious or are they making?
You hear
noise? Yeah, that's my question.
So...
But I'm basically trying to decide whether I want to heal them so it's then easier for us to interrogate them, or do we just take them captive now?
Unless you
and
have a
deal with
reaction,
that
it
later?
won't matter until
Well,
later.
I held a spell.
Oh, yeah.
So your trigger for your reaction is if they attack you, and at the moment they have not.
Ryland, from where you are, you can see a window that gives you a view of the other assassin, and you see that they have completed reloading their crossbow, and now they are taking aim down the alleyway that these fellows are retreating down. I'm assuming one of you would probably be looking over your shoulder at some point. The guards that were with Castellan have actually stopped beating the peasants and have grabbed the one that tried to shoot him and are now heading towards you, taking up a rear guard.
Cool. So I'm very much looking over my shoulder. Do I see the assassin taking aim at us?
Yep, they
Cool.
seem to be aiming at you.
Cool. I'm dissonant. Are they within 60 feet of me?
I'm going to say you're at the extreme end of 60 feet, so your reaction only triggers on their attack, so just give me a moment. Alright, so 2 on the dice. So the crossbow bolt flies over your head and ricochets down the alleyway before emerging on the opposite side. So you were going to use Dissonant Whispers?
I'm just trying to decide if I use Dissonant Whispers or Message.
Well, put it this way, if you can come up with a good enough message that you're going to say that will actually shock them, you can use message.
It's not necessarily shock them. It's more more trying to convince them that we're not who.
Hey, don't fucking shoot me.
Look, you do you. You decide what you want to do.
You do you, man.
Yeah. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
So is the other one charm person?
No, so for reference to everyone else, I have message, which is basically I can point at someone and whisper to them, and then I also have the spell Dissonant Whispers, which is basically the same thing, but I'm attacking you psychically. But I'm actually considering...
I would do just a message. If you're trying to convince them not to shoot me.
I'm trying to talk to this person because I'm not necessarily, like, metagame, I'm not necessarily against them taking Rattou back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to point at the person.
Yep.
And they'll definitely see that because they're aiming at me, and then whisper to them, "Hey, we've got someone very important here, and as far as I can tell, we're not exactly with him, and we're not exactly against him, but we're not against you either, so what can we do to help each other out here? I'm not promising to help you because I don't know what you want, but let's at least talk."
Okay, roll me a diplomacy check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, Jesus.
That was not the strongest play.
Yeah.
I kind of want to help you, but not really, and we might not do this.
Diplomacy is not a thing. Do you mean...
Persuasion.
Persuasion's probably a disadvantage.
Yeah, persuasion a disadvantage.
That's a 1.
Yeah.
And a 4.
Yeah. They seem to be completely ignoring you. In fact, you don't even get a courtesy response.
Sure. There's my attempt at playing nice.
That's fine.
Castellan is going to take the dodge action and keep pace with the party as you guys retreat down the alleyway.
Skairn, your turn.
So, is there anything in the alley? Is there like boxes or anything?
No, it's empty. There's lichen. It's pretty grotty.
It's cardboard box.
It's just like, is it in an alley by the docks?
No, but the docks are near.
Are there crates or anything like that?
Not in this alleyway, I'm afraid.
No, there's no cover.
No.
Okay. I've seen the Edwina crossbow hands fall, and I'm like...
Fuck, I forgot we had their friend. God damn it.
Yeah. And I've determined that she's probably not a problem, and I think we're in pretty good hands. So I'm now making a reasonable show of I am helping Castellan along.
Yep.
And I've sort of pushed him to the wall, and actually no, I'm sort of holding him in the middle and say, "Don't stand near the walls. The walls channels a crossbow bolt. Stand in the middle of the street." And then I look up because I've seen her fall, but Rosh is nowhere to be seen. So I look up and see this little face stick out over the edge of and chirp, just sort of, like,
Yeah.
good boy. And then I go over to the assassin and say to her in Bashano, "What's the deal here? What's going on? Who do you work for? Are you trying to freeze a Bashano? What is this? Answer me. Maybe I can help." I said quiet, but I'm making a big show of like holding a harpoon to her neck or something.
Yeah, right. Okay, this person goes very rigid. Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Boom. It's a 19.
They respond, "I think my father knows your father."
Oh, for fuck's sake. Everybody knows my family in this
Am
house.
I close enough?
Yes.
I'm just gonna come in and be like, yes, no, I think he does. He's a good man. How's your mother?
Yes, she's recovered well.
Great. Can we talk in private?
This masked figure looks from you.
Where?
This masked figure looks from you to Skairn and then to Castellan, who's now standing next to you, looking down at this would-be assassin.
Nezor, why are they talking about their parents?
Can Rhylind see or hear any of this from her window?
No, because you're actually facing the street.
So
There's not a lot of time. We're still in
even though
combat.
it wasn't delivered that way, that was all intended to be quite quiet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very quick also. I'm going to say that's probably the extent of it.
So we make. So you and I are like this.
Yeah.
So I can I insight what the hell?
So here's how this is going to go down. If you want to intuit anything from Abella's side of the conversation, you're going to be rolling in opposition if she doesn't want you to know. Otherwise, I will set a DC and you can just tell me what you want to know if it's anything other than Abella's side of stuff.
Right.
Okay, to do this is also going to use your action.
So tell me what you're trying to figure out.
I'm trying to intuit who this organization is, because I have from my initial blush with it was, oh, okay, there are assassins, fucking more assassins, and then I have now clocked that their modus operandi is slightly different, and Abella seems to know these ones, or there's something going on here, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. So what's...
I think this is an Abella thing.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
So can I just say what I would do now?
Sure.
Is this person in the mask in a condition to run?
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, that changed.
They have been stung. They also fell off a roof.
Yeah.
I'm going to say pick one of the things that you want to know, and then Abella, determine whether or not you want to just let him kind of figure it out.
Are they likely to help us or hinder us? I've just rolled a 19.
Do you know what? Because I don't know if they are in this situation. So you know what?
All right, instead we'll treat it as an insight check. 19 is high enough. Whatever their motivations are, they are more interested in attacking the mercenaries than you. The one that fell off the building appears to be in an extreme amount of pain.
Fell off a 2-story building, yeah. Are they sort of barely conscious, or are they...
They are very much conscious, but they are very woozy.
Okay.
You can see like black veins underneath where Frosh has stung.
I notice that and smile, and then I call Frosh back.
Yep, and he probably just hops down. Back to the top of Abella.
Probably going to say loudly, we're going to take you for questioning. And then I'm going to kind of put her arm around.
So what's the intent here? You're just trying to deceive everyone?
Yes.
Deception.
12.
Whether or not they buy it, you're not sure, but they're not stopping you, so...
Okay, well, that's good enough.
Charlie?
Right. Again, Charlie's going to shuffle Nezor behind him, and Charlie's going to be like, meh. So the fighting's in front of him and everyone's behind him.
Okay, so basically he's about face turned and stepped around Nezor and...
Okay, so Charlie strikes up a protective pose. Rhylind, it is your turn.
Out the window, I can see the other assassin preparing to fire again.
Yes, you can.
Again, I'm going to fire my bow at them, but maim, not kill.
Please roll me an attack.
I'm going to use my bardic inspiration.
Roll first.
Yeah.
And then...
Roll first, then determine it. Yeah.
Too late!
Oh, natty 20!
Don't use your bardic inspiration.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, so I think you pull the arrow taut in the bow, and there's the panel of glass, and there's maybe like a sunbeam coming through. It's a rad moment. And then please describe to me how you fire, and then roll your damage, which is, don't forget, double damage.
So you
You
roll
net 20, so you double
roll
it.
2 d8s. And
Yeah, how do you do that? Do you roll 2, or you just...
Roll 2. Yeah.
So yes, I pull back the arrow, I fire, it bursts out of the window, and like there's this kind of rainbow sparkle of light.
I think the assassins, or the would-be assassin, sort of notices the last second and turns their head slightly.
Turns slightly at this blaze of light, and then 6 plus 5 plus 2, so 11, 12, 13 damage.
Ooh.
And the arrow strikes them in their front arm on the crossbow. And I would argue goes straight through the arm, so they've actually got the arrow right through their arm.
You hear a male yelp, and then the crossbow itself breaks in half.
Nice.
As the arrow pierces their arm, pins it to the body of the crossbow breaks, and then they spin slightly.
The bolt looses as he falls, and it flies into the sky.
Nezor.
So I've heard Abella try and deceive us.
Yeah, she's clearly
So-
trying to save this person.
Yeah, which I'm like, cool. So there's something more here, and I'm not 100% against it. So this alleyway backs into a wall, right?
Oh, no, the alleyway goes to the next street.
Oh, straight through to the next street. I think I'm just gonna start pulling
Yep.
my Charlie shield backwards, to get everyone going into that.
Like Charlie's
So
suspect.
actually, no, I'm gonna shoot Abella a look, not necessarily questioning anything, but more being like, okay.
Messenger.
I could message her, but I think I'm just gonna let her be her.
And I will.
Yeah, and kind of back into everyone, so
Yep.
we're
All right, cool.
a little bit more grouped up.
All right. The would-be assassin on the other roof decides to expeditiously retreat. And combat is ended. Frosh is begging for treats.
Oh, I find something.
Yep.
I say to Nezor, Nezor, do you have any of that meat left?
I don't think I had any meat left.
Really?
No,
We didn't use all of it.
It would have been like 2 weeks old.
No, he means the stuff we got from the
3 months ago.
No, not 3 months ago. The stuff from the pig that was getting roasted by the priest.
Yeah.
That was all. That's all been swampified.
Yeah, that's also like 5 days old.
This is Frosh. He doesn't really mind. He just...
I think I personally either would have given it to Frosh already or gotten rid of it.
Well, then I get out some ration treat, sort of jerky stuff, and he's a good boy. Good boy.
Cool.
How does Castellan react to that?
Castellan's just sort of staring at the entire thing, and he kind of looks at you, Scan, and goes, "You saved my life."
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
One of your numbers missing. Where's Rhylind?
What was your fake name again?
Befilled.
What?
Mathilda.
Mathilda.
I think Mathild. That's how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Mathilda did not follow us down the alleyway.
Can we please dispense with the attempt at a lie?
And Skairn chuckles at that. He goes, yeah, all right, fine. Wasn't a very good one anyway.
Maybe Rhyland's her middle name that she goes by or something.
Maybe Mathilda's her middle name, but never mind.
Mathilda's definitely one of her names.
Well, you will.
I continued loudly and...
You were there the whole time. You saw what I saw.
Obnoxiously.
As far as I'm aware, well, she's not here, and I don't know where she's gone. If she has a reason to flee from you, I don't know it. And I make eye contact with him. I can roll persuasion if you like.
No, I think he buys what you're saying. Are you trying to basically intimate to him that he shouldn't go looking for her?
No, it's more just sort of like, do you have a reason?
Oh, okay. So he looks and he goes, the fact that you both tried to stop that, and he points to the elf that's currently unconscious between two of his guards, assassin, has changed a few things. I am, of course, a gentleman, and a gentleman does not forget his debts. So if you should happen to run into Rhylind, please tell her that I would like to have a conversation with her. And if she should happen to decide to come of her own volition, please let her know that I have a very nice Cabernet.
Can I hear this?
Yeah.
I think you probably
She
can.
could hear me. So.
You can do whatever you want with that information, Rhylind.
I'm like, because I can't see them, can I? I'm at the wrong...
No, but you can probably hear the conversation. It's probably a bit
You've
like,
now
muffled.
opened the window
Yeah.
with an arrow.
I did that. Is there like another window I can get to look down? Or actually, can I insight into the tone of his voice? Is he bullshitting me?
I mean, yes, but it will be a disadvantage because it is a little hard to get that if you're not looking at a person.
12 and 9. So just be 9.
Well, look, the thing is, though, he invoked, like, the code of a gentleman and...
In the presence of another gentleman.
And in the presence of another gentleman. So he's probably not lying, but whether or not you'd like to risk that is entirely up to you.
I'm not going to risk it right now.
Yeah.
I've got an assassin to get after.
Oh, okay. Rhylind side adventure.
Hot diggity.
We'll resolve what's going on downstairs. You all hurry down this alley, captive in tow, and weave your way through a number of streets until you reach a small riverside dock. There are a few ships moored here. They've had their masts unstepped and are currently being guarded by a small complement of these soldiers.
Talking about that, so on the way there, the elf I'm supporting, so she's not in any kind of thing where she can run away or anything?
No, not at all. Well, she could, but it would be fruitless. And she would probably get a beating for it.
Can I whisper to... Well, so not whisper even. Can I make eye contact with Nezor and go... and point at the two of them. Mm-hmm. And then look at him and cock my head. Trying to infer, you can inside to see what I'm trying to infer, but I think you get it. I was like, you're the one who can speak silently. Yeah. Speak silently, damn it.
So I'm going to point... So I'm assuming Castellan is with his guards kind of at the front, leading the way?
Castellan is close to Skairn.
Not that it matters. He can't hear me anyway.
No.
So I'm going to point at Abella and just be like, is there a secret conversation we need to have? Because I don't think we're going to be in private anytime soon.
Not necessarily. It's just basic thieves speak here. But I want to get information from this woman, and I think it'll do us good to have one of them on our side.
I can't make you two speak together, but I can be a go-between. So if there's anything you want to say to them without anyone else knowing, I can do that.
Yes. Can you ask her if she has a way to escape as she is?
And is there anything that I need to say to her to get her to trust me?
Just say you're a friend of mine.
Cool.
Fine.
So I'm going to point at the assassin, quotation marks, and be like, "Hey, I'm the little halfling behind. You're the only one that can hear me right now. We basically need to have a secret conversation with you." And I say we, I mean, big guy, half elf, your elf friend, because we're not really with everyone else. So we kind of want to know if you've got a plan of escape, and if there's anything you need us to know before we get to wherever they are currently taking us.
You get a very short, sharp response, and this gets me out of here, and you will be rewarded handsomely.
So back to Abella. Yeah, she's not got a plan,
Oh, good.
but
I don't have a plan, Nezor.
if we get her out of here, there'll be good things for us.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Anything else we need her to know right now? She knows who we are, and she knows that we aren't with them. What else do we need to do, to say, to...
Just tell her we'll see if we have an opportunity, but if we do, meet us at noon at the Lawbreakers Circle.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So back to her again. Gonna do our best. We don't have a plan at the moment, but we're usually pretty good at coming up with things on the fly.
Are we?
Nezor, you're the best, like, middleman.
If things go wrong but in a right kind of way, and you manage to escape and you either need help or you want to get back in contact with us, noon tomorrow in Lawbreakers Circle.
You get no response.
That's cool. That's what I expected.
Yeah, so yeah, you're approaching this port, and you notice that all the sails have been removed from these ships, and they vary from. There's probably some that could be like seafaring, but for the most part, they are like ships that are designed to sail in rivers. There are a number of dinghies, and you are basically escorted onto one of them. Castellan and yourselves are all on one, and then his guards and the prisoners are on the other. Abella, I assume you're staying with your friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
This whole time I've made quite a big show of, like, we'll get answers out of you. Walk this way.
I look at Nezor, point my finger at my head, tap the side of my head, and then sort of nod to Abella, and then...
While you're doing this,
I'm literally just gonna...
thievery.
Gesture to the boat, and then make a circle motion as in to say, capsize it.
You'll pay for your crimes.
She's also rubbish in boats.
Yep.
Oh, shit, yeah, I am.
Yep. Immediately.
Yeah, I'd point back at Abella and be like, look, if you get a chance, you can capsize the boat, but I don't know how well you do in water if you're not so good on boats.
Fine. Look, I'll survive in water better
You can
than...
swim.
Yeah, but
Basically.
can you swim and carry someone at the same time?
The person
Can you
isn't
ask
crippled.
her if she can swim? Because swimming's easier than running.
So I'd go back to our assassin and just be like,
Not a plan, but just checking. Can you swim?
Yes.
How bound up is she?
She is effectively offering no resistance. So she's been escorted by Abella the whole way.
I also do feel like my blustering has actually helped in that.
Have you
Like,
removed the arrow from her forearm?
No, it's still there.
what's this dinghy made of?
Wood.
Cool, that's unfortunate.
And nails.
There would be nails.
Yeah. Maybe some kind of like sealant, like some kind of tar
Yeah, there
possibly.
would be tar.
I was going heat metal to see what that would do, but
I reckon just rocking the boat would be a far
I was
simpler
gonna say,
way.
I've got a
like, dinghies
plan,
are
yeah.
fucking...
I've got a much better plan. I'm trying to decide if I want to get away with it.
Yeah.
Can I insight?
Are all the guards in armor?
No, they're wearing like red fatigues and leathers.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
like in armor, yes, but not like metal. No.
Would Castellan have any idea that I am in any way magical?
He hasn't picked up on it.
Cool. And
You think?
what I want to do is create a sudden loud ringing noise that is painfully intense in the water and would therefore be somewhat muffled and not doing much damage to people. But the boat is a non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried, so it takes 3d8 thunder damage.
So, let me just get this straight. You are going...
I'm murdering a bunch of fish.
Yeah, you are killing a lot of sea life.
I think if you
It's a
It's only within
10-foot
like
sphere.
10 feet.
hang on,
Yeah.
if you do this at the same time, because I think once I got on the boat, I'm immediately like, "Huh!" and I'm going to go over the side and use my non-acting heaving to rock the boat. So if you kind of blast one side and I rock...
Oh, no, this boat is going to shatter.
Break.
The spell is literally called shatter.
Oh, you're doing shatter. Excellent.
I'm doing a shatter within the water so that it doesn't hurt anyone, but
Let me have a look at that card.
the boat definitely will explode. Basically, I'm trying to aim it in such a way that even if it does some of the sound escape.
Look, that works for me because it's a point of your choice. It's not a target.
Yeah.
It's a fish 10 feet behind the boat.
As a distraction, I will be heaving.
But I'm still in contact with you, so I'm kind of like
Yeah.
Three.
So while this is
3, 2, 1 now, but in the build up to that,
Sure.
Matt can do whatever he wants.
Just before that happens,
I just want to get an idea of where everyone is because there are 2 boats being rowed across the river. The first has Abella, the assassin, and some of Castellan's guards in it. The other has Charlie, Nezor, Skairn, and Castellan along with the rest of his guards.
I would be asking Castellan where we're going.
we're going to my estate.
Cool. For dinner?
Yes, and perhaps a nightcap.
Sounds good. Can I ask, why were you so keen to have us over for dinner, given that you now seem to have changed your mind?
I must confess, before you saved my life, I intended to extract all the information you had about your sister and then lock you up in my basement.
And do what?
However, you're on another boat, you can't ask.
I know.
No, but actually that would be it's like kinky.
Leather
Okay.
armor, baby.
Cards on the table then. My plan was it was like 50% of what your plan was. I was going to extract as much information as you had about my sister because I have not the faintest idea where she is. I haven't seen her in ages, but my grandfather has been sort of communicating, like that's how I heard about her going missing. The last thing I heard was about the cult of the dragon, which I have to wonder is whether or not that was even accurate at all.
Okay, he blinks after you tell him all this information. He goes, well, then perhaps we should have this conversation in private.
Sounds good.
And rest assured, I won't be locking you in my dungeon.
That's cool. I look him up and down and go, shame.
Oh, now you're gay. First we burn people's faces off, and then it's okay.
He raises a single eyebrow at you.
And I just go, kidding.
All right.
So before I do my shiz,
Well, before you say anything else, is Charlie doing anything?
Sitting on the chair,
Yeah.
one hand
Patting
in
the dog.
water, petting the dog.
The queen, I
love the queen.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
but
the
he's a little sort of, when you're like, you're losing the wind in your
You're coming
sails.
off the buzz.
Yeah, you're fucked up, but you're not splashing the water like.
I'm gonna be hungover soon.
Yeah, like
You see a turtle.
Is it actually there?
Yeah.
is it accurate?
You see a turtle.
So I jump in after the turtle. I sort of let go of thing and go, turtle!
Charlie, no.
And Castellan looks at where Charlie was and looks and goes, an excitable man, isn't he?
no, just a
You
drunk
have
one.
no idea. Charlie, come back in the boat.
Hi everyone, it's Matthew, your Dungeon Master here. Yes, we're doing another one of those ad breaks. We have to keep the lights on somehow. This week, we're sponsored by Snap30. Snap30 is a pop culture coverage website started in 2014 by a bunch of friends who fell in love with the idea of sharing their passionate hot takes on anime, video games, and other pop culture. Their articles are really casual. It's like a conversation with a friend, except it's a conversation in their brain that they wrote down, but the spirit of the dialogue is there. What's really cool about Snap30 and what I'm really passionate about is the fact that they like to get into the trenches. They play these games live on Twitch almost every day, and you can check out their channel at twitch.tv/snap30, spelled THIRTY. They're not good at games. They're really average. In fact, I would say they're aggressively medium. Ultimately, they like to call themselves a bunch of idiots with a keyboard, mouse, and a controller, but I think that's doing them a bit of a disservice. And you would be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out the website, snap30.com. That's 30, spelt THIRTY. not 30. Snap30.com. And hey, if pop culture's your thing, you're probably going to like tabletop board games. And if you like tabletop board games, you should definitely check out friends of the podcast, Nerds of the West, at youtube.com/Nerds of the West. They just hit a milestone of 3,000 subscribers and 100,000 views on their Exploding Kittens card game actual play. You should definitely check it out. It's very entertaining. They've got great editing. They've got great personalities. That's not a euphemism. And also, you can check them out at twitch.tv/Nerds of the West on most days of the week in their brand spanking new studio. Hey, and just between you and me, sometimes we make an appearance there. It's a great way to spend a couple of hours out of your day hanging out with some really cool people. I highly recommend it. You should definitely check them out. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. We mentioned last episode that we were going to launch our Patreon. We are very, very close to doing so. We're going to launch it with the release of episode 20, which will also come with a mailbag episode. So, we've already received a number of questions from you guys. The cutoff is a week after the release of this episode, so if you don't get them through, you'll have to wait till the next time we do one of these. We've already had a number of fantastic questions come through, but we would love to hear more of them. Mail them through to therebedragonspodcast@gmail.com with the message line mailbag episode, and we'll include those in the show. And if you've been enjoying the adventure, don't forget to tell your friends. That is how we spread. We go purely through word of mouth, and we are really appreciative of it. If you're going to go above and beyond, consider dropping us a review and a star rating on iTunes, Spotify, Podchaser. There are a number of platforms that we're on, and you can check out the links to those on the Twitter, which is twitter.com/TBDragonscast. Well, let's get back to the story. And hey, thanks for listening.
Now, Nezor, what were you doing?
Cool. I'm basically.
Water when you can't shut up.
Yeah, but the boats wouldn't be that close together.
We don't know if turtles are an endangered species in this world.
I feel like not. They're about to be.
I'm basically on the lookout for like guards along the side, and basically a place that
They're all in like a 20-foot side.
Well, Charlie's in the water now with them.
With a turtle.
I'm basically just watching out for where I think Abella and our new friend can escape, because I don't want to blow up the boat when there's going to be guards nearby, and I don't want to blow up the boat when there's like just bare, we're still in the city, yes?
Yeah. So, to describe where you're currently at, there is like several islands that this city is sort of built across. And you're not outside of this port yet, but it looks like there is almost a replica of the same sort of setup on the opposite side. To your left, there is some kind of wooden structure in the water. It's fairly far away, though, but it seems to be like a really misshapen bridge made out of like flotsam. It actually connects two of these islands together. There is another smaller island that is joined by two bridges that has what looks like a park on it. Like very tall trees have been very deliberately planted in an order. It's not something you'd see in nature. And then on the other, that's not on the bridge. It's on the island. But the last island, which appears to be your destination, actually has like a more militarized looking setup. There are several large, tall buildings on it. One of them looks like some kind of government building because it has, or rather had, Bashano banners, and now it has Heart banners draped down it. There is also a number of ships on the opposite side that look more like heavier, dutier versions, river ships that would be used for combat purposes, or at least ferrying troops, like very wide, very sturdy.
Right.
And that appears to be where you're going.
Cool. So I'm basically looking out for a bunch of buildings that I think these two would be able to run into and get away from anyone from.
What, on the opposite side or back where you came?
Opposite side, where basically whenever they get near the city is when I think is best to strike.
Which two?
Not two buildings, like...
No, sorry. With the two of them, you're not implying Abella is going to flee.
Yeah, we need to stay in contact.
We don't want to piss... Well...
That immediately goes, two of them ran away.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to run. That's why I told her to meet me at the place tomorrow.
Fair enough, yeah.
I want this is probably shouldn't be having this conversation because it's meddling, but I would prefer that we stick together, but the assassin gets away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Even if we keep one assassin.
Because we've already split.
Well, we've only got one.
No, we've got two. We've got the kid.
Yeah, but he's not really
an assassin.
He doesn't count.
Yeah.
He's just a messed up kid. He doesn't know any better.
So I'm
That
going
excuse has
to
been made too many times, and it's time people start owning their actions.
I like it.
I'm going to message to the assassin. Be ready, and then at the same time cast secretly as I can, healing word, giving them 1d4 of hit points plus my spellcasting ability, so 4.
Well, are we on the boat as this is happening?
Yeah.
I've been heaving.
Yeah.
The guards are probably distracted.
Yeah.
They're
Backing
trying
away.
very hard not to pay attention to you.
So basically, I'm just like gonna heal them for as good as I can. Let's try and keep it on the fucking table. Jesus. So 7 hit points healed.
Okay.
And then once I see them, I'm assuming and hoping they kind of sit up a little bit and seem a little bit more invigorated. Shatter.
A little less poisoned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they definitely seem a
You
little bit
healed all the
sharper.
poison damage, let's put it that
Yeah.
way. I only did 6.
I'm going to message now and shatter the water under the back of the boat,
Okay.
which is 3d8 of thunder damage.
Roll damage.
That's only 5 damage.
Okay. There is a dull thump, something like a depth charge. The water churns and becomes red, and the back of the boat implodes.
Why does the water become red? Was there more turtles?
There was many things in the river.
This is when Matt reveals he was actually about to spring a
No.
giant monster on us, and I killed it.
No, you...
By the way, so when Charlie fell in,
Yeah.
how
No.
dived?
Dived.
Yeah. So, like, how long before this did we wait for him to be back on board?
I'm swimming along with the boat.
Okay.
And he's like way away. So
Yeah,
So
that-
probably nice fresh water as well. You're probably helping.
Yeah.
No,
you-
I've got a turtle. And I saw another one.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. But it's gone now.
yeah.
No, I've got one in my arm. And I'm swimming after the second
It's
one.
Duchess. What's
that one
Duchess
turtle
doing?
is mildly
Yeah,
aroused.
she's barking at you.
I dropped her from and like dove in and grabbed
So
the turtle.
my point is,
and
like, have we gotten Charlie back on board before we do
No,
the
he's
thing?
just-
No,
Okay.
he's just swimming. He's not close
But
enough to be
it's-
affected by it.
Okay.
You just sort of see this thing rapidly begin to sink as this blood just sort of diffuses into the river.
Holy shit!
And I'm like, in not an unnatural reaction, what the fuck? Oh!
Yeah,
And I turn to Costello and say, "Did you mind the river?
that's an idea.
What is that then?
Why is it red?"
What's
I
happening
assume
to your
from
boat?
the-
Where's the boat gone?
Honey, why is
You-
the boat on fire?
You seem to be asking me questions I clearly can't answer.
I'm sorry,
I
I-
don't understand why.
Making sure you knew.
No. It's not sort of. I wasn't asking where the boat's gone. I can see what's happened to it. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
why it's sinking.
He stands up and goes to the back of the boat that you're on, and he goes, "Well," and they're rapidly sinking. Most of them are like 3 of them are in the water.
I was hoping to injure some of them slightly.
I look at him and I go, "Do you mind if I go?"
Knock yourself out.
So I dive into the water and I swim over and make a big show of helping Abella, who is floundering.
Just as a point. So when this happens,
She's going down on the ship, like it's like
Oh,
she's
no,
like the
so-
front of the Titanic, like.
So when this happens, I would have been supporting this elf, right?
Yeah.
Or being supported by this elf.
Look, probably more of that by this point. I feel gotten more healthy, so great. And I would have tripped, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Can you not like make it so obvious?
Yeah, you could trip without having to vocalize it as well.
All right, fine. So I trip and fall in the water,
Yeah.
and then I climb to the surface and splash about. I'm not a great swimmer, so it doesn't
Yeah.
require a lot of acting for me to look like I'm drowning.
And then I dive in to go and help her.
Yep. Okay.
And let go of the person surrounding me.
No, and no one else does either because I just rolled their perception checks and they all rolled very badly.
And she stealths
Sub
the fuck
8.
into boat.
Yeah. Charlie,
Yes,
you have a turtle.
I do. And I'm going for a second one.
How
It's
big a
making an
turtle?
unpleasant noise.
I can't hear it, it's under the water.
Is it a turtle or like a tortoise or a turtle?
Tortoises don't exist
They don't-
in water, they
Tortoises don't
drown
swim.
if they're in water.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Have you not seen
you
that
not seen
gif of
that?
some...
Does it not have
I
legs?
rescued a turtle.
Like, isn't there? Doesn't tortoises with legs can't they? They can't swim?
no.
Oh no, there's this chick who's like, I found this turtle It's clearly a gopher tortoise.
Okay.
And she's like, it's a turtle. I'm going to put it back into the water, and throws it off a bridge into the water. It's just, well, you just killed that animal.
I just didn't. I actually thought that they were amphibious and they could live on land, and I thought.
That's turtles. Turtles can.
You have a turtle. Yeah.
Terrapins, can they swim?
I don't know. Let's.
They're a type of tortoise.
I'm looking this shit up.
So anyway,
So, I go for the... Well, I'm going to have to need air, aren't I? So I've got my turtle.
yeah.
I'm going to swim upwards as fast as I can, because swimming's half speed. So for me, that's 50 feet if I dash. Or if I double move, I move 50 feet.
Okay.
So basically, I'm just going to swim really quickly up and on an angle along with the boat and holding the turtle in front of me like this, sort of breach the water while screaming turtle.
Let me paint you all a word picture.
I just did. I just painted the word picture.
Yeah. But I want to paint them a word picture because that was the Charlie experience. This is what everyone else has experienced. The experience is the ship begins to sink, Abella's vomiting, blah, blah, blah. The would-be assassin disappears, and then when some sort of semblance of sanity returns to the scene, Charlie breaches screaming turtle, holding it aloft. Castellan just brings his hands to his eyes and just rubs them and goes, I need brandy.
And I sort of drag Abella up onto the side of the boat and then haul myself back in and go, rum for me.
You all eventually make land on the other side, sans the assassin. Meanwhile, Rhylind.
Having assumed from the conversation that the first assassin I was chasing has been apprehended, I'm going to set off in search of the other one I shot through the hand.
Yep.
Because in magnificent odds, I didn't crit fail on either of those shots.
Yeah.
You crit succeeded in one.
I did. I'm quite impressed with myself.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
there
they
are
are
rainbows.
Fleeing at speed.
All right, I pursue them. What would be the most direct route to intercept them?
Through the window. And then onto the ground on the opposite side. Yeah, and then by foot.
Run.
Yeah.
So that you guys are basically, I feel like you guys want me to leap out of the window and do a superhero landing.
I mean, that's the most direct way.
Totally don't roll a 1.
Would that hurt? Can I land a 15-foot drop unhurt?
I would make you do a dex check just to see if you can handle it. Otherwise, you might take some falling damage, which would be like a d6.
Okay. Well, I'll just go down the stairs. Why risk it?
Yeah.
I go back down the stairs and across the square in pursuit of the
cool.
assassin. Did I see them get off the building, or they still
they have continued to flee. They've basically just stayed on the rooftops.
Well, I need to get to the roof, so I get into the opposite building and up the stairs.
Okay. Look, I'm just going to say you managed to find a way onto a roof. There's a small, I guess...
You break down the other door.
Up the stairs, I punch out a window, climb onto the windowsill, and do a sort of nifty leap and grab the edge of the roof.
Cool. Just quickly roll me an athletics check. Just make sure you can get up there.
12 plus 7.
Yep.
19.
Excellent. Yeah, you vault this, and you are now on the roof, and they are quite a distance ahead of you. We're going to roll an opposed athletics check to see if you're able to catch up to them.
16 plus 7.
So, Rhylind, you engage in a rooftop chase with this assassin. At points, they drop down to lower levels. They try to avoid you by ducking through small alleyways and then climbing back up. You are able to keep pace, though, and eventually you chase them across a rooftop whilst they drop down to the street level and see them literally crossing the road into this very, very unpleasant-looking, almost shanty town.
Great. I grab them.
Are you going to leap from the building down and, crush them?
And tackle them.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I lunge from the rooftop.
Do it raptor style. You leap into the air and then sort of...
With that.
Yeah.
I leap from the rooftop, arms outstretched to capture my prey.
Excellent. Let's call that a grapple check with advantage.
16 plus 7.
Oh, my dice rolls are awful today. Yeah, you land on them.
These assassins suck.
I'm just having a bad day.
Well, I mean, an assassin can be someone who has a crossbow or a dagger. They don't have to be, highly trained individuals.
But they have an order. They have secret codes and masks. They're This is a team.
That's where all the training went into.
Yeah, we blew the budget.
They are super good at mask making and secret hand signs.
They're really great at paper mache.
And they're pretty good at missing their primary target and hitting a bunch of dudes in the neck.
You'd be surprised how crafts is a team building exercise.
I feel like...
So, after that...
I successfully grappled him to the ground?
Yeah, so you push him to the ground.
Is it crowded there?
No. And you hear the wind get knocked out of him.
Cool. I'll flip him over and straddle them.
Yeah.
In a non-sexy way.
Thank you for
You
specifying that.
see this mask looking at you. It's cracked.
I'll pull it off.
Yeah, and there is a...
No.
There is an elf. There is an elf there.
He doesn't have razor blades in his neck?
No.
Oh.
Wrong
I
mask.
remember that too.
Wrong mask.
He's glaring at you.
What a shock. You shot him in the arm.
I did shoot him in the arm. Does he know that I was the one who shot him in the arm?
I imagine he
Could
would.
probably figure that out.
Yeah, he's like...
No one else had a bow.
He goes, go on then, kill me.
Wasn't what I had in mind.
Hot. Spits in your face.
Believe it or not, I'm not on terribly good terms with the Earhart at the moment. I was just wondering who you were shooting at.
Hot pigs.
Just in general, not a specific Earhart pig?
Turn cloaks.
Okay. So you weren't trying
Like,
to kill...
you should die.
Well, given that they're trying to kill me as well, that seems a little unfair.
But you think I have pity for you?
So are you in some sort of guild with those masky things?
He just starts laughing.
I'm just going to flick the arrow in his forearm.
You will pay for this.
I will?
You will.
Who will I pay to?
My father shall see you.
And who might he be?
To that, he just keeps laughing. And he thinks it's a big joke. Roll me a perception check.
4.
Okay. Yeah.
I perceive nothing.
You perceive nothing.
How about if I patch your arm up and then you tell me who you're working for? Look, I'm not necessarily...
You think sympathy will make me tell you things? No.
Oh, I could keep yanking on it. Look, mate.
All pretense dropped.
The people I'm with, I'm pretty sure would be happy to kill me as well. So that I'm not necessarily opposed to letting you go to keep on killing them. I just want to know where you came from in the first place. The enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that business.
Why would I tell a tyrant anything?
Do I look like the sort of person who's on good terms with the Earhart?
You look like some kind of monster.
Fair point. But I wasn't the one, on a rooftop wearing a crazy mask shooting at people today, so,
This is our duty.
I don't really have a duty anymore, so this is your chance to convince me that I should help you instead of putting an arrow somewhere else.
Roll me a persuasion check.
That was good.
With
You
advantage.
did say with advantage.
With
and
advantage.
you also have bardic inspiration.
I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
Crit fail.
With advantage. Fantastic.
Use your bardic inspiration.
So far we've done 1 and 3.
I've got 6. For those playing at home, I got to roll with advantage. I rolled a 1 and a 3. I also had bardic inspiration and rolled a 3. So I get 6 to convince this dude that...
And your charisma is +2.
Yeah.
So,
don't forget your bonuses.
Yes, charisma.
So it'd be 8 then.
8. I get 8.
Yeah.
Better than 1.
You see something flicker behind the eyes very briefly, like there is a brief glimmer of interest and then that sort of resentment returns.
Would it help if I mentioned I'm a wanted criminal in Earhart for jeopardizing Earhart military strategies?
Okay, roll again with advantage.
12.
That's better.
3.
Yeah, 12.
12 plus 2 is 14.
Yeah?
We're getting there.
Why would you fight against your countrymen?
I like being alive.
Get off me and we may talk.
If I get off you, do you promise not to try and stab me?
Of course. I am not underhanded like you, Earhart.
Says the assassin.
Can I raise... Do I have eyebrows? Can I raise an eyebrow?
You have scales.
Yeah.
I raise a scaly ridge at him and then get off him.
He groans, gets up, dusts himself off and goes, so, what is your name?
I fucking hate that question.
Mathild. Mathild Silverback.
Northern. Mathild. Mathild. You?
He fixes you with a glare. Marcel.
Nice to meet you, Marcel. I go to shake his hand and then realise it's got an arrow sticking out of it.
Yeah, and also he does not make any motion to do the same to you. Yes.
Would you like me to patch that up for you?
No. You want to help me?
Like I said, I like being alive, and finding this place was overrun by Erhart was a rather unpleasant surprise. I was kind of hoping that by staying on this side of the river I'd get to avoid more Erhart. So, the less Erhart around, the likely is one of them's going to stab me in the back, so...
You're not certain, but you think he liked your answer?
There is a long pause while this elf seems to make his mind up about something. Tersely responds with,
Caveat emptor. 6 bells.
Then he turns on his heel and hurries off into the slums, leaving you to ponder, Rhylind. What kind of Bashano establishment uses High Erhart to give itself a name?
Buyer beware.
Thank you for listening to this episode of There Be Dragons. I am your Dungeon Master Matthew, and Abella DeRosier was played by Angela Leta Kaye. Charlie Roughhouse was played by Tristan Doust. Nezor Valghoorlis, the Bard, and our sound recordist was played by Tom Moore. Skairn Fellspar is played by Joshua Walker. And Rhylind Westfall is played by Keren Schlink. If you'd like to know more about the podcast, check out our website at therebedragonscast.com, or you can check us out on Podbean at therebedragons.podbean.com. We also have a Twitter at TBDragonsCast, where you can tweet at us and talk about the show using the hashtag ThereBeDragons. There Be Dragons is edited and produced by Matthew Buss, and sound post-produced by Tom Moore. There Be Dragons' original score and soundtrack is composed and produced by Sean Tanian. You can see more of his work at seantanianmusic.com. There Be Dragons art is produced by Brianna Manning. You can find more of her work at brepi.com. That's all for this week. Thanks for listening.